In this video, we're going to show you how to install the windshield cowl grill on your Ford Mustang located at the base of your windshield. Now, I want to go ahead and remove our wiper arms off of the transmission itself. We're going to use some tape here and want to mark where the wiper blades are on the windshield. So when we install this here, we'll get that lined up. So I'm just going to run this edge along the blade itself. This will give us a preliminary setting here. Now on the top side, there is a little locking tab. I like to use a flathead screwdriver and just kind of gently twist that, and you're going to pop that lock up. Bring up your wiper arm, and that lock will come up a little bit further. Then wiggle that arm and slide it right up and off the spline shaft. We're going to repeat this process for the passenger side. Next, we're going to raise up our hood. Now right up here on the cowl area, there's going to be a rubber seal. You simply want to grab that and pull that up and off. Let's continue to remove our cowl gasket here and set that aside. With the gasket removed, we're going to now go ahead and access the 3 trim buttons here. There's one here, one closer to the middle, and then one on the passenger side. We're going to use a trim tool. Go ahead in there and lift up. And here is one of the buttons. Let's go ahead and get the center one and then the passenger side. Now our wiper cowl is held in place by little metal retainer clips. We're going to use our trim tool. We're going to lift up on this and gently pry up. We're going to work our way over to the driver's side and continue to do the same. And we're going to use our trim tool to come along the base of the windshield. And ours is just super brittle, it's just breaking apart. I'm just going to run our fingers along this, popping up the clips. I want to lift this up and over our wiper transmission buttons here. With the cowl pulled up and out of the way a little bit, we're going to lower our hood. You don't have to latch it, but just lower it down. Now as we lift this up, underneath you're going to find the rubber tubes going to the washer sprayers here. So we want to gently twist those off. Our tube here broke. We're going to go ahead and repair that. If you did break yours, go ahead and source another one locally. You want to go ahead and replace that before you reinstall this here, but we did get the rubber port off. I'm going to reach up here and grab the hose that goes to the washer nozzle. I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to use my trim tool here just to get between that rubber hose and kind of break that free. That should allow us to go ahead and wiggle this off. I'm also going to pop the hose out of the cowl. Now that you have the hose disconnected, go ahead and remove the cowl. We need to swap over these metal clips that are on these tabs. So I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver and gently get underneath and work these up and off. And as you remove these clips, you could swap them right over onto the new cowl here. You just want to line these up. And push these down. Tap them on. You want to make sure that they're fully seated on the tab. You're going to continue this process for the other remaining tabs across the back side. Let's swap over our spray nozzles here. I'm just going to use a pick and gently press on this back side of this retainer, and it falls out through the front. Take the new cowl, line this up, and press that in. You'll hear it click into place. Do the same for the other side. Now on our splits here for the hood hinge, there is our gasket, and there are metal tabs that hold the gasket in place. We have our gasket in place here. Go ahead and install the retainer tabs. Now we have our 3 retaining locks on here. Let's go ahead and do the same on the other side. On the factory cowl here, we have a little rubber bump. We have the same thing right here. We're going to slide it right over this blade here. Push that into position. Do the same for the other side. We're using some denatured alcohol here on our rag, and what we're going to do is we're going to wipe down the plastic here of any solvents. We just popped off our little rubber bumper right here. We're going to set that aside, and what we're doing is we're prepping the plastic to adhere our little seal onto here. On the back side, you want to peel off the adhesive cover here. Go ahead and peel that back. And go ahead and line that up. And you want that bend on that seal to go right around, and you're going to stick that right onto the cowl. And go ahead and press it into place. Go ahead and take your little rubber bumper there, line that back up and stick that on there again. We're going to go ahead and repeat this process for the other side. Using some of that alcohol, we're going to wipe the back upper lip here of the cowl. Do this all the way from one side to the other. Now we're going to be installing our new windshield seal here at the base, and it's going to resemble what this looks like on this component here. Now this is our seal, and there is a ridge between the foam seal here, or the adhesive right there. So when we go to install this, we're going to peel off that red backing. I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to start roughly about a ½ inch away from this line. There is a line about a ½ inch in from the edge, and we're going to come in another ½ inch from that and start our windshield seal. Now you can see I only peel off probably about 5 or so inches of this here. We're not going to peel off the whole strip. Let's go ahead and line this up. Line up that edge, and we'll start to stick this on. You can always flip this, check it, make sure it's lined up, and ours is lined up perfect. Flip this back over, and what we'll do is we're only going to peel off a few inches at a time. And be sure to press that up against the edge as we go along. Now there is some extra here. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and flip this over. I'm going to come in about a 1/2 inch from the raised plastic line there, and we'll just trim that with a razor. Now at this point, just use a nice sharp blade. Go ahead and cut that. And there we have it. Let's go ahead and install our washer nozzles here. I'm going to snap this into the top. And we're going to feed this across and repeat for the passenger side. Now we're going to feed our cowl in. As we lower this down, we want to go ahead and get our cowl end underneath the A-pillar here. So I'm going to feed this down and in. And we have the driver's side in our general location. Let's go ahead and work the passenger side in. I'm just going to lift up a little bit on the cowl by the windshield and flex in the passenger side of the cowl. I want to make sure that the top of the cowl lines up properly with the top of the windshield, and also want to make sure that our cowl is inside the firewall tray there. There it is. So the forward mount or a portion of the grille is inside behind the cowl. Everything else lines up. So now what we can do is we can lower the hood. I want to make sure that our gasket is pushed down around the hood hinge. You can use our plastic trim tool for this here. Just work that gasket around there. You want to go ahead and work your way along the top here and tap in the metal clips that we installed on the retainer tabs. Now with our cowl set down in place, we're going to install our little push button locks here. Put in the base and then push that center down. And let's repeat for the other two. Install our cowl seal here. Line up that gasket and go ahead and push it down onto the pinch weld. Let's go ahead and close the hood and install our wiper blades. And to install your wiper arm with the blade, this might take a couple attempts to do so, but you want to make sure that your locking clip is in the outward position. So pull that out. Go ahead and drop the arm down. Now you don't have to lock it. We're just going to test this. We're going to drop it down. We can see where it's going to fall. It's above the tape. So we're going to pull this up and move it a couple teeth. It's too low. That looks like it's going to be good there. So in order for you to be able to fold down the wiper arm all the way, you do have to push the lock in. And we are right on our tape line. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that process for the other side. At this point here, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.